First of all, thank you very much for visiting with me.
Of course.
I have to start by asking, what do you think it is about these fairy tales in general, one, that are so timeless, and two, that are ripe for being reimagined for modern times?
I think the reason, I mean, they're obviously just good stories with a classical. I've been asked this question many times, but I'm always. I think it's that they have darkness. They have like this moral lesson with the children, and they go places where children's stories shouldn't go. And that's why I loved Hansel and Gretel, because I listened to the tape when I was a kid, and I was scared to death by it, because it was so extreme and burning witches alive and trying to eat children and fat. I mean, it's pretty dark stuff, and I think that's the reason. I mean, if you look at children's stories that come out today, they're not even close to the Grimm brothers, which is a shame, I think. And yeah, I had this idea for quite a long time, and when I pitched the idea to Paramount, there was the only fairy tale movie that came out was Alice in Wonderland.
Right.
And after that, yeah, there was this boom of these stories, and I think it's just great stories and great characters, and of course, studio loves the fact that it's already established around the world. It's public domain, which always helps. But for me, it was because I truly loved it growing up, and I always thought it would be fun. I always wondered what happened to Hansel and Gretel, and this is the action version of that.
And what elements of that original story, when you sat down to write it, did you want to keep, or at least maybe the themes, or did you want to just kind of blow it out of the water and start over?
I knew I wanted the original fairy tale as the opening of the film. That I knew, because I always thought it read like a fantastic first grade scene. Basically, it does, because it leaves those characters in such a cool place, and such a great origin story. So that was it for me. I knew I wanted that, and I knew I wanted to go back, see them as grown-ups, and going back to where everything happened, and discovering the real truth about the gingerbread incident.
The incident,
Yeah.
I love it. And speaking of our Hansel and Gretel, you couldn't have cast two better actors, and Jeremy and Emma. And curious what each, in your opinion, you brought to the role, and why they were so perfect.
Well, Jeremy was on board first, and I saw him in the Hurt Locker, of course. And he read the script really shortly after, and he was on board. And the reason I think I saw the film and I knew he would be perfect. But when you meet him, you realize he's really funny as well. He has a great sense of humor, and that's what he loved about the script when he read it: the mix of tones and how he could show a more humorous side of himself. And I knew I wanted a badass Hansel, but at the same time somebody who could sell the humor, which he did. And Gemma I saw in a film called The Disappearance of Alice Creed. Yes. Amazing film and amazing performance. And she just, she's so tough. I mean, in this film, she's more of a classic action heroine and badass, but she has a streak of vulnerability about her. She never feels like a superwoman, which I like about her. And of course, but when you're casting a brother and sister, you got to make sure that they like each other. And so we got them together, and they clicked straight away, and we knew we had them.
Well, and the thing is with the brother and sister is they have to have a chemistry, but it's not shown as much as, say, romantic chemistry is needed. What kind of things did you have to do to facilitate that kinship between the two characters? Or you also put it in the script clearly too.
Yeah, and that's what was a part of the thing that they responded so well to. Train.
Oh yeah, Glendale.
You good? No. That relationship was part of the reason why they wanted to do this film. Because it's so rare to see a brother and sister relationship driving a film like that, and they both had siblings, and they both had very strong relationship to their sibling, and they wanted to bring their own things into that, and they just that was one of the selling points for them, I think, actually going into it, because they wanted that, and they liked it, and they brought me many ideas. But the moment we had them together, we kind of knew it. It felt like they'd known each other for years.
Yeah, well, it comes through on every frame.
Good.
Lastly, maybe hard to choose, but what was the best day on set?
Best day on set. I like the when the troll helps Gretel with the sheriff and his men. That was fun to shoot.
I bet.
But I would say that the finale, where we had all these crazy creatures and the troll and witches and children and Hansel and Gretel and Muriel, of course, it was just everything together at once, which is of course very challenging, but at the same time a lot of fun. And that was just a crazy crazy set to work on. But,
I believe it.
But again, part of the reason why I'm doing this, at least, is because I just I want to have fun when I'm shooting a film, and I make sure when I cast people or with the crew that we can get along, and we really had a great time shooting it.
Well, if you're having fun, the audience is having fun, and that is clearly the case. Thank you.
Thank you
so very much. Such a pleasure.
Likewise.
All the best.
Thank you.